There was a time when pirates openly terrorized the sea, but not all pirates were the same. Not all of them were bloodthirsty murderers, and believe it or not all of them were gay. Pirates have been around for as long as ships have. At one point, Julius Caesar was kidnapped by pirates. In their long, cliche-ridden history, they have left countless unsolved mysteries. Here are some that might turn you on. I mean, it's unlikely, but it might. Pirate fetish could be a real thing. In 1870, Californian press reported that a man had discovered a ship in the middle of the desert. He was Charlie Klusker, who accidentally stumbled upon the ship after his cart broke and he was forced to walk through the desert. He found it around 40 miles north of Yuma, Arizona, and claimed the ship contained a vast wealth of gold. Klusker told reporters he intended to soon return and claim the gold for himself. He soon disappeared and was never seen again. It's unclear what happened to him, but many have searched for the ship he discovered, hoping he died before retrieving its gold. The ship was never found, possibly because it doesn't exist, but it might just be that the area was not well mapped, or that a sandstorm had hidden the ship. Either way, some believe a ship full of gold remains in the same spot today, which is now under a man-made lake. Legend tells it is the ship of Thomas Cavendish, an English pirate notorious for looting treasure from Spanish towns in the Caribbean. According to legend, the island of Madagascar was once taken over by pirates. It was the 17th century and a crew of pirates were sick of life as fugitives, so they went to Madagascar to establish their own society. Led by Captain James Mission, they captured several towns and declared a new colony called Libertatia. All were free in Libertatia. Slavery was abolished and a socialist utopia established. In time, they had a fort and defences. They created a new language and built large great halls. It was a true utopia where pirates and natives lived in harmony. They captured slave ships, freeing the slaves on board and making them citizens of Libertatia. But 25 years after its founding, Libertatia fell. It's unknown how, but apparently survivors of whatever happened were forced to flee. It's also unknown if Libertatia even existed. There is no actual evidence, only a description of events in a 17th century book called A General History of the Pirates. As the author's identity is a mystery, there's no telling if Libertatia was real. Oliver Levasseur was among the greatest pirates of his day, looting ships on oceans across the globe, but in 1730 he was captured by French authorities and executed. Before he could be hanged, he removed the necklace he was wearing and threw it into the crowd, saying, "Find my treasure for one who may understand it." On the necklace was a strange cryptogram. It's unknown what happened to the necklace, but this is said to be the cryptogram it depicted. No one had any luck deciphering it until the mid-1900s, when Reginald Cruz Wilkins studied it. Apparently, by linking the symbols to Masonic teachings, he came to believe the treasure was hidden on the island of May in Seychelles. He only found some old coins and guns, but it convinced many the treasure is real. The treasure is said to be worth over $1 billion, and they say anyone who deciphers the cryptogram could find it. Who was Davy Jones? Davy Jones' locker is a term for the bottom of the sea. Scuttled ships would be described as having been sent to the locker, and sailors who drowned would be described as being taken by Davy Jones. But no one knows how the term Davy Jones' locker came to mean what it does. Legend tells it was the name of a notorious pub owner who kidnapped sailors. He would give free booze to young men until they passed out. He then sold them into the service of any ship, be it a navy vessel or pirate crew, but he might not have existed. Rumour has it he went mad and murdered his own crew. I think the term might have been inspired by him. The Green Flash may sound like a terrible comic book supervillain, but really it's just a thing pirates saw. Over many centuries, countless pirates reported seeing strange flashes of green light in the distance. The green light was only seen when in remote areas of the ocean, and it briefly turned the entire sky and horizon green. Pirate lore told that anyone who saw the green flash would be able to look into people's souls and know if they were lying. Quilo is a Chilean island that for generations was a prime target for pirates. Its ports were largely unguarded and attracted many merchant ships that could be easily ambushed, but some pirate crews looking for easy loot would regret coming to Kilo. Local legend has long told of a ghost ship in the waters surrounding the island. It would emerge from thick clouds of fog and sail towards smaller ships. Beautiful music would attract any nearby sailor to approach. Upon stepping foot on a ship, they would be taken prisoner and forced to work as a slave forever. Slaves are never allowed to leave the ship, and like others on board, grow more deformed as time goes on. It was once a normal ship with a mortal crew of pirates. The crew was so desperate for gold that they made a deal with local witches to gain magical powers. They did not know this would cost them their souls, and confine them to the waters of Kilo. Is Captain Philip's ship cursed? In 2009, a group of Somali pirates attacked a ship and took its captain Richard Phillips hostage. He survived and so did the ship, but the ship was attacked again by pirates later that year, and then in 2011. Sick of this, 2 experienced security guards were hired to protect the ship, who were then mysteriously found dead aboard it. The autopsy concluded that both men died of a sudden heart attack, at around the same time with no clear explanation. This led some to wonder if the ship might be cursed. And when I say some, I mean me. I haven't heard anyone else ask that question, but let's face it, it's probably a cursed ship. In 1715, a massive fleet set sail from Mexico. It carried an enormous amount of gold and silver, which was difficult to keep secret. So to avoid pirate attacks, they began the journey just before hurricane season, hoping the threat of storms would ward off pirates. It did, but it also destroyed the fleet and lost the treasure Spain desperately needed. This taught them an important lesson. Don't try and sail through hurricane season, you dumb 18th century honkies. The fleet's vast treasure was lost to the waves, and most of it was never seen again despite attempts to retrieve it. Some ships sent to retrieve the treasure disappeared, and rumour has it they were captured by pirates after salvaging gold. Only half of the treasure was found by the Spanish, but it's unknown if the other half was stolen by pirates, or if it remains lost underwater. Every now and then pieces of gold wash up on nearby beaches. Many assume they are from the lost fleet. A pirate's mass grave was recently uncovered in America. The 300-year-old scene is believed by some to be the final resting place of Sam Bellamy and his crew. He was the world's richest pirate, with a fortune said to be worth over $120 million in today's money. Bellamy became a pirate after failing to salvage any of the lost Spanish gold from 1715. Within 2 years, he was the world's most successful pirate, with vast wealth and his own fleet of ships. But then he died in 1717 when a sudden storm wrecked his ship. He and his crew were never seen again. Legend told they survived and changed their identities to trick authorities into thinking they were dead. But with a nearby mass grave being investigated, we might soon know if they really did die in the storm. Blackbeard is undoubtedly the most notorious pirate of all time. At one point he captured 15 ships in 3 weeks, looting gold from them and many towns in the Caribbean, but this made him an enemy of the governor of Virginia, who sent 60 men to capture Blackbeard. They caught the pirate crew off guard and outnumbered them, but still it took a loss to kill Blackbeard. It took 20 stab wounds and 5 bullets to kill him, and to make sure he was dead they cut off his head. But knowledge of the location of his stash of treasure seems to have died with him. Still today the whereabouts of Blackbeard's gold is unknown.